Good evening, everyone. Pat Settle with Heritage Village Trains. Today we're going to be doing an N-Scale rebuild. We're going to rebuild this N-Scale RF&P boxcar by Lifelike. We've actually been in the N-Scale side for a little bit now with our N-Gauge layout, which you saw in our most recent welcome video. And that has actually been a real popular area in our club. So we're going to rebuild this car. And we're going to give it a new lease on life. These are pretty simple to rebuild. I personally collect N-Gauge at home, and I'm sure some of you out there do as well. And N-Scale is a very affordable gauge for most anybody. It is 1:160, the size of the real-life counterpart. And it's a pretty fun scale where you can do a lot with it. So let's crank out some parts, and let's have some fun at the workbench as we rebuild this N-Scale car. Hi everyone, we're on our workbench. As you can see, we have our RF&P boxcar and the Microtrains parts that will be needed to do the rebuild. You are going to need a pair of these trucks. You can find these at any Microtrains dealer, and this car is going to be simple to rebuild. It includes a pair of trucks and the appropriate bolster pins, which I'll explain about in a few minutes. And the part number is just right up here in the left corner. So I'm going to leave this up here for a few seconds so you can write down the part number, and hopefully you may be able to rebuild your rolling stock with these parts. N-Scale is a popular gauge, as mentioned earlier, 1:160th the size of the real-life counterpart. And the good thing about N-Scale is a lot of the detail is molded in, and the cars are very simple to rebuild. This is an older Lifelike car. And as you can see, it has the old Rapido couplers on each end. This car has definitely seen the rails. The wheels are really tired looking. The coupler springs are starting to get worn. And the bolster pins are holding the trucks together, but they're not built up to today's specs. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the car apart, and the frame just comes right out. And just be careful with it when you pull this out so you will not damage the shell. And sometimes a flathead screwdriver will help you here. See, I pulled off one of the trucks right now, and as you can see, there's the truck and there's the pin. And we're going to put those off to the side. And I just pulled the other one off. And now the only thing we have to do is get a flathead screwdriver and pull this out. I will pull this screwdriver from the tool bench and I'll be right back. All right, everyone, we have the car taken apart. As you can see, there's not very many parts with this. As mentioned before, we have our roller bearing trucks. As mentioned previously, the part number is up there. Once again, I'll show it again so you'll be able to get the part number down. I have kept the old bolster pins as shown earlier. We might be able to reuse them with the rebuild. Some people have asked me, can you reuse the pins? You can, as long as they work. I have reused pins a bunch of times. Sometimes the bends are wore out and they need to be replaced. So the good thing with Microtrains is they include additional pins in case you do need to replace them. And rebuilding this car is very, very simple. Here's the underside of the car. This is where your trucks are mounted with your bolster pins. So we just take a truck and a pin. And these parts are really, really small. Stick it in the hole. Make sure it's aligned properly and it just slides right in. And then push it right back in. And you just repeat the same step. Hang on one second, I'll show y'all again. Okay. Take a pin, slide in. Push it right down. Make sure they're in tight. No glue. No glue. No glue is required for this, and the best part about it, no tools are required. Then the frame goes back into the shell, just like this. You don't want to push it all the way in, just enough to get it aligned. it'll just pop right back in. It is a little bit tricky. There it is. All rebuilt and ready for the rails. Cool. So the pins have been reused and the trucks have been fully installed. A couple of pointers that I will leave on this. Always make sure your wheels are in good condition, as mentioned with the O-gauge rebuilds. Also make sure your couplers are in good shape. If they're not, take them off and get new parts, because the new parts are built a lot better. And the good thing about N-Gage cars, not a lot of separately applied details, and rebuilding is a breeze. You can do this in under 5 minutes, and a lot of N-Gagers like to rebuild their old rolling stock and put brand new knuckles on there, which are much easier to handle than the old Rapido style, which is more like an L shape, as you see here. So you have that coupler and you have the knuckle coupler. I definitely recommend the knuckle coupler. Convert your cars over to knuckles if they're older, because they bite better and they're much easier to work with. So I hope you all found this video helpful, and I hope you N-scale modelers out there can use this video as a guide. And as mentioned earlier, we'll definitely showing you all our N-Gage layout real soon. And I look forward to seeing you in that video as well. Until next time, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching.